What up? What up? Welcome to another episode of 94 Feet with Coach JT. Before we get started, man, do me a favor. Please leave a like in the comments. Subscribe. Let me know what you think about the podcast. Suggestions if people want to see on the show. Just anything that you want to see as we continue to grow in this podcast. And, man, take it into the new year, man. It's almost over. 2021 is almost over, and it's almost been a year that I've been doing this podcast just overall, and I've been in the studio for about 2 to 3 months. And, man, let me tell you, coming in today, man, shout out to DJ Eddie and his bro. Got the Beats by Dre. Everybody's loaded up with Beats by Dre, man. So we just keep making improvements, and y'all tap in with your voice. So I'm going to just get right to this introduction, but I'm actually let my co-workers, co-parts, man, my homies in the field of coaching introduce themselves. I'm going to start all the way to my left, man. Coach Terrell, start us off. Just tell me a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what school you're coaching at, and just how long you've been in the game of coaching, man.
It's Coach Terrell. I coach at Valley High School, varsity coach. I'm from Oakland, California, but I grew up half my life in Sacramento too. High school, I went to Monterey Trails. In Oakland, I went to Fremont High School. I've been coaching for about, I'll say my 8th year, I would say. Varsity, 4 years. Before that, I'm actually, the funny thing is about this is I actually got some type of like relations with both of the coaches up here because I went to Monterey Trails. Yeah. You got a Monterey Trails coach. And then how I even started my high school coaching career is Raph joined me to a staff to be the JV coach. So it's definitely a good vibe here. So I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Yes,
Coach Raph.
Yeah, my name is Raphael Jamont. Everybody calls me Coach Raph. I am currently the assistant varsity coach at Fortune Early College High School and head JV coach, so kind of double dipping right now. I'm actually going into my 12th year coaching. Started off, actually, I'm from Sacramento, born and raised, but I was got my start while I was in college, and so I got my start at Salesian out in Richmond, California, and dabbled in JUCO for a year at Chabot Junior College and came back home. And that's where I met Terrell. I was a head coach over at Valley, and now I'm over at Fortune now.
That's what's up. Coach Rob.
Coach Robert Fields. I'm the head coach at Monterey Trail High School in Elk Grove. This is year number, I believe, 7 for me over there. I've been coaching for almost 15 years now. I think it's year 15 for me. Spent some time in San Diego and then relocated back to Sac and took over at Monterey Trail. So it's been nothing but blessings, man, sitting here with you, man. The podcast is going on, man.
Appreciate
so big ups to you. I know almost a year in the book. So happy to be on and happy to be on my fellow coaches, man.
Appreciate you, man. For everybody, though, man, for me, it's just been dope. Like I said, in some way, form, or fashion, we're all intertwined, which is dope. But also, we've been keeping it 100 since we've been linked up and just working together. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing, right? Because I posted on a little thing a while ago, like the next wave or the wave now, though. We're not really next. We've been in it for a minute.
Yeah.
But let's get into the background, a little bit about your journeys. I mean, and for myself, those who may not know, I'm entering year 15 as well. Man, right out of college in 06, I jumped into coaching at Sac City for 3 years. Then went back to my alma mater at Kennedy for assistant coach for like 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Went to CRC for a year with Coach John James. Went back to City. Now I'm back at Kennedy as well as a head coach, but I think it's just we all got a story, and that's why we're here today, but also give some light on young black coaches in the game, but also what it all holds and steals as well. So, because we know it's not just coaching.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We don't just coach.
Definitely.
I see you guys work. You guys don't just coach. And as we get into some of these backgrounds and how some stories come across, I think I'm gonna jump it off though to even like, so me and Rob go back years. It's just not even basketball. Like we're family friends. We're like church family friends since we was growing up, man. Our families intertwined. And I'm interviewing for a job at MT, and I'm like, okay, it's like you and one other person. I'm like, who? Rob Field. I'm like, I thought Rob stayed out at San Diego. I'm like, Rob trying to come home. I was at Kennedy for like, I did 3 years at City, did like 6 years at Kennedy. I was like, okay, I think I'm ready. I'm trying, right? Rob, okay, cool. But on the other side, I'm like, you know what? That's somebody I rock with, though. It's like family. So it's a win-win, though, because I know Rob going to be there, same principle, but he want to come home, too. Like, he want to come back home and get to us. So I was like, second interview, oh, y'all coming back? Both of us? Okay, we really in this thing. Played each other in college, junior college for 1 year, like, but even just start that off, it was like, okay, man, I'd rather be that way with any of you guys up here or anybody else, just in general. Like, real love to see y'all get an opportunity because we know how much work.
Yeah.
People don't just give us opportunities to come be a young black head coach at any program, even middle school programs, right? It's hard to get a gig. So for me, I spent time helping at Sutter while I was at Kennedy, just trying to build resumes, right? Because learn from other guys. I've been around, again, I've seen the Swaffers. I've seen Coach Fong. I've seen, it's too many coaches. Coach Fred, Coach everybody, Coach Earl, watching for so long, right?
Yeah.
So we spent time watching and behind the scenes, but eventually I was like, no, I need to break through, though. Yeah. This is what we really want to do. So right now I just want to get on, outside of playing, though, what was it about the game that led you guys to coaching? And I'm going to start with Raph right now. What led you to take? Because, I mean, we all probably had hoop dreams. I know we probably was like, okay, I'm going to do something with it, but like to what extent? But then when you shifted gears, man, what was it about that led you to like, okay, now I want to be a leader of young men or men?
Man, that's it. I felt it was a little bit natural for me. I went out and I was actually working, a desk job, 9 to 5, and one of my coworkers, he was like, hey, man, you want to help me out? And I'm like, man, I love the game. I don't mind being out there. I'll teach what I know. And then I just slowly fell in love with it. I was like, oh, yeah, I could do this. And so when I'm out there with the kids, being able to pour into them from experiences and life experiences and want to teach them and want to lead them, I'm all about getting them ready for the next coach nowadays, right? Whether that's if they transfer, whether it's another high school coach, whether it's D1, D2, D3, NAIA, wherever they're going, I want to make sure I'm helping a kid with his IQ, with some concepts, with some skills, whatever the case may be, so that they can be successful moving on in the game of basketball, but also at the same time, man, I'm loving on these kids, right? You got to,
you're a father figure.
Yeah, man, it got to be. You got to feed them before you lead them. So, we have our breakfasts, we have our team outings, we do all this stuff where we're trying to build that family culture where these kids know that you can depend on me for a life. And, if they calling me up for weddings, future, whatever the case may be, I got a guy coach that just got on with the Lakers, man, and as an assistant coach there, and he was Jews, hit me up about it,
amazing.
So I'm like,
that's dope.
Man, it's just about, trying to make an impact as best I can. And, hey, if you learn one thing, man, you're going to learn some IQ, you're going to learn some concepts, and you're going to be able to be successful, hopefully on and off the court.
That's a win-win. You get a job for the Lakers. Hey, don't forget Coach might need some tickets. That's it. I don't need much.
Yeah, when y'all coming to town.
That's all, man. That's what's up. Raph, what about you, man, with that transition, man?
It started pretty early because I was playing my freshman year of high school. Yeah. And not gonna bust him out, but my coach wasn't the greatest. During that time, but I remember he was explaining a play and he was explaining it wrong.
So you already knew what was supposed to be.
And I corrected him, and the JV coach came up behind me and was like, "Man, you
gonna be a coach.
You should be a coach." And I never thought about it, and so I played my whole life, and I just kind of found myself naturally doing it. Yeah. I used to have a hoop in front of my house, and then neighborhood kids would come, and I would show them how to work on their shot, things of that nature. So it actually was a thought of mine going into school, and so I got actually started pretty early. I started coaching at 19. Okay. And a friend of mine who I met in college, he played at Salesian and wanted to get into coaching. And so Bill Mellis was his coach. And so we just went up to him and said, hey, you need any help? We would love the opportunity. And he gave us the freshman team. And so
start from the ground up.
Right. And so what's crazy about it is, same thing what Coach Fields was saying is the life connections, because a lot of those, that freshman team, those guys are probably 27 now. And so, seeing kids become adults, and I think that was the biggest blessing to me. Dope. Is that, especially at the high school level, when they leave you in the high school level, they're now adults. Yeah. And so I consider that a big responsibility. And, I've been doing it ever since. And so, when I moved back home, that's what I wanted to get right into. And luckily I actually was originally supposed to be an assistant over at Valley, and then the coach ended up just not staying. Right. And so, ended up getting that position. That's where I met Coach Terrell, because he was working at Jackman. And so, that's one thing that I love about coaching is just you meet people. Basketball is a lot of my friends I met through the sport.
Yeah.
And so I just enjoy it. I enjoy training.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching film. I enjoy, I found myself enjoying that actually, just as much as playing. And so, even if I'm not coaching at the high school, it's more of just whether I'm at a park just giving a kid pointers or something of that nature. And so, I've done it in all different types of fashion, whether it was after school program, teacher, or what have you. But
still serving though. That's probably the main thing, right?
Yeah, I just love seeing somebody build and being able to use something that they learned from me.
Yeah.
That's my passion.
That's dope.
Yeah. Mine kind of started. When I look back on it, I look at it like I was always meant to coach. But growing up, I kind of soon I got 18, 19, I honestly stopped even thinking about basketball for a minute. Honestly, I was trying to figure out what was next. So I actually moved back to the Bay Area. And then when I started locking in on what I wanted to do, I went to Alameda, and I went to go try out over there. I was playing with them. I got hurt in one of our summer league games or whatever. Came back, started training over there at Jackman, and just was playing or whatever. They still knew me, so they let me come in there. All the neighborhood kids, they wanted to play, so I started training them. You got Lil Mikey, you got all them kids.
I remember that. Yeah.
All them guys. My little cousin Marquise, my little brother Stan, because they way younger than me, but they was the next guys up.
Right.
Well, it was so many distractions for him. I wasn't even thinking about, he was, or like Coach Raph was basically saying, you start giving them pointers, and then you start helping them out.
You're coaching.
You start coaching.
You're mentoring.
Yeah. So you started and then you start seeing the other way they could go, like the streets involved in the area that we in. And around that time, it was so much going on. Yeah. You kind of all right, I got y'all. So then you start put them in a tournament. Don't even know. I didn't say I put them in a tournament. Didn't even know what was going on. All right, let's just see what's up. And then you start realizing, okay, they see themselves good, and then you start feeling this is a way for them out.
Yeah.
And then they start biting in, and then it started getting to a point where it's hey, I think I want to do this, and then it's a thought at first, and then I remember I got an opportunity. They asked me to coach the girls at Jackman, the 7th grade girls, and I was like, no way. I was nah, not gonna happen. But I did it though. I was whatever. All right. And honestly, that locked me in for life. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think if I would have coached boys first, I wouldn't have did it. Because seeing the boys that was in 7th grade there at the time, and they still my guys to this day, because I ended up coaching them later on at Valley. Yeah. But at the time, it was they didn't listen.
Girls are gonna listen.
Girls listen.
Better listeners, huh?
Better
execution.
They listen everything you practice.
They don't rely on their athleticism because there's not as much at an early age.
What you practice, they do in the game.
Right.
Nothing else. You might be mad because they don't go get that ball. They don't dive on that ground, but they're gonna do everything you ask for. Yeah. And that really locked me in because then I was there for a minute, and honestly, I was ready to even go further into it and start coaching at the high school level with girls. And then when I met Raph, it was kind of the opportunity, and it was the perfect. Because honestly, was offered to go to Valley. I turned it down. Didn't like what was going on over there, just to be honest. So I was like, nah, I'm good. But what I'm saying is, I don't even look at myself as a coach, honestly, with our area. I really look at myself as the community guy who just bringing the kids together, honestly, because it's different over there. And it's different. I like you already first started saying, we're not really, you're not just a coach. Yeah. Honestly. And I get
social worker, deal with everything.
I deal with so much stuff beyond basketball. We and him would be talking. I deal with so much stuff before we even get to a practice. Yeah. It's practice, you get to a practice.
That's a good thing.
I'm wore out. It's okay.
Yeah, okay. I definitely remember even initially you starting small stuff outside the Kings courts years ago. Or even I think Mikey and them was, I don't know if he was a senior in high school or I was at CRC that 1 year, and I think one of the guys from Valley ended up getting shot that year. Yeah. And I was at CRC that year, and I was just we seen kids. I mean, even though I was at Kenny assistant coach, we've all these kids have so much more to worry about. We definitely know that coaching, we try to make that gym their safe haven, but to get them there is work in itself. I mean, even though I knew my hoop dream stopped early, but being my family sports, my auntie, everybody knew. I thought I knew everything coaching. Well, I probably couldn't play, but I could play 5 positions. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this thing afterwards. I know as soon as I'm done, this is what I'm getting in. But now, the path to getting the actual opportunity, I think goes unseen for as far as the black males in this business or whatever you want to call it goes, because it's hard. I don't know about y'all. It took me, like I said, I probably applied it to even get interviews. It's like a job itself.
Yeah.
I applied for so many schools over I waited probably after City, went back to Kennedy. I probably waited 2 years at Kennedy, maybe 3 years though. That was what, 5 years in before I started applying. I didn't even get an interview probably till my 10th year overall though. Like I didn't even get an interview. So I was just applying. I was like, okay, wait. Then somebody was like, well, go back and get a master's, because I actually thought about doing junior college too. Okay, let me get a master's to help my resume. But I was like, you know what? I got to get a master's probably, go to Nike camps. I wasn't even, early on, I wasn't really knowing about what to do to just buffer my resume and make it seem like, okay, let's give this dude a chance. Outside of just me being consistent assistant coach for years, I'm like, damn, I got to have experience. Somebody give me a shot.
Yeah,
it's politics, man.
And,
it's politics.
And remember, even when you applied at MT and we both, like you said earlier, we was both in the running for it. As soon as I got it, I was like, hey, man.
No, yeah.
What'd you do on yours?
Oh, no.
So I could big you up so you could big me up.
Even
on
off top, I was like,
but
then you know what? Rob was in San Diego coaching, head coaching title for a couple of years.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, that experience or that title alone, most of the time, may get you over the hump. Like, so I applied for a lot of jobs locally people don't know about. A lot of them, like finalists, whatever. But they was like, you don't have the head coaching title experience.
Man, his situation is honestly kind of the same. When he first left, I was not about to coach at Valley. I really wasn't. I was like, nah, because the situation that happened, it was some stuff that was like, wait, hold up. Like how it happened, the ending of it, it was like, nah.
You can be real. You can tell them what happened.
You get all the juice.
Exactly.
But the one thing about it is, it's us because it's all love, because it's not, this is upfront personal. This is real life, but it's also, I support you, and vice versa. I know it's reciprocated off a drop of a dime. I make a phone call, everybody said, JT, I'm near.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what I know.
Well,
so
just to kind of add on to it, because, you know, what happened with me was there was a lot of, I was very young as a head coach.
Yeah.
You know, I was 27 when I got the head coaching job at Valley. And I was on fire. You know, I saw the potential there, and I tried to push things a little too fast.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes, you know,
experience.
us being in Sacramento, sometimes people don't want to move
Brother,
back.
I was in Elk Grove for 2 years.
Yeah.
I was pushing the envelope, I guess, you know, whatever, but trying to really move it, but also based upon how we were probably brought up and coached.
Yeah.
But it's different.
Nah.
And I had to learn through that experience of the failure and getting let go, being an at-will employee, and them telling you, okay, well, we're going to go with somebody different.
Right.
I was like, I worked my butt off for this, bro.
Right. And so, you know, that happened to me. And, you know, because I came from Salesian, you know, and I came there, when I got there, I was really blessed because my first year there, varsity won state. And then they went back 2 years later, lost in state, but then went back the year after that and won it. So in a 4-year span, went to the state championship 3 times, won it twice. Yeah. You know, and had a McDonald's All-American on the team. So, like, and it was a system. So
who was that Salesian?
Jabari Bird.
Bird, okay.
Bird, yeah. And so, you know, like, I saw a system and how they ran it. So I'm like,
I'm trying
to bring this right here. And people were like, whoa, wait a minute. And
you ain't got Salesian type talent yet.
No, not yet. I mean, it's, you know, it wasn't. It's just more of the system in terms of how you prepare, how you train. You know, what are you doing on a daily basis, yearly basis, and so, you know, in my you know, youngness of it, I pushed a lot of buttons,
right,
and so, you know, it led to me being let go, and so I remember, you know, after that there was a lot of instability because, you know, there was a lot of buy-in into what we were building. And so that's why they had pursued Terrell. And at first he was like, I'm not doing that, you know. And I was telling him, like, nah, bro, go get it. Because it's hard to get that head coaching varsity tag. So I'm like, if you have that opportunity, go get it. You know that. Even
if it's for that year, for 2 every year, because, like, we don't know how often it'll come, but it'll be on there, right? It's on your resume whenever you go apply. And it's not, it's definitely it's a sketchy situation in some places, but also some it's like you got to walk through that door yourself. You just got to tackle it if it failed, but you failed doing it. I guess how your way, you learn next time from it, man, for real.
Definitely.
Brick by brick, got to build it.
What so, and it was like, say they get robbed a job. I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm like, but I realized he has a head coach. So I said, okay, now what do I do? I got to keep applying, but also it was like, this take a lot of your time. I feel all the paperwork out, whatever, typing, whatever it is, send them in. to not even get a call back or say we went with somebody else, go to interviews, sit with interviews. I mean, I hate it. Like I said, what was okay for you in the interview process, Terrell? What was the most frustrating thing for you on any interview, just in general?
It was somebody in there who knew me for a long time, and because I knew the kids and he really didn't care, he already in his mind didn't want me to be coach. It was somebody in there who already knew, because that person not even there no more, but they got a mindset of how they want it to be ran.
To look, okay.
So basically, just for example, say a kid who got a little personality to him. Yeah, let's get him right. We don't want him to play. Let's set a standard. They want clean cut kids to play. You only go, like me personally, I help a lot of our kids be able to be eligible. Not the cheating for them. You know, teachers, I can't even do that. But I make sure
you structure their schedule, whatever, as far as like making sure to help. Yeah,
I talk to a teacher I make sure they go to that teacher tutoring. I do all the extra stuff. They feel like
advocate for themselves.
That person feel like, that person should be doing it themselves. Well, we do live in a community where, honestly, let's just be real. Some of them, parents don't even care about just being honest.
That's true.
So it's like, if I don't advocate for them, you basically telling a 15-year-old kid, figure it out.
Which all they do is operate by telephone, text message. They don't communicate well. I think that's the biggest thing. And the guys, this is my first full year at Kennedy, but I'm telling them, like, look, be on time. If you're going to miss practice, please, if you don't text me yourself, make sure your teammates vouch for you too as well, because at least you know you communicate with them. But also go to your teachers early and often. Be in study hall. If you're late, if you're going to get a snack somewhere after school, better let me know. Yeah. Because it's just like, and to the parents, I told them, I'm just trying to help you grow your young men. And some that may not have dual parents, we're that, man. Yeah. We are that. Let's be real. We are that. So if they respect me, but also we know it's incentive based youth, right? Yeah. We want playing time. They want that uniform, that gear. Yep. They gonna call coach. Exactly. They gonna say, Coach Terrell, Coach Rob, I'm gonna be a little late. Yes. They may not communicate with their parents like that, man.
Seriously.
So that's how you got.
And like you said, another thing in the interview, the AD, I will say this, even though Raph and her had a bad situation, she really rocked with me for real. Yeah. She really pushed the envelope to make sure I was.
So the thing is though, he opened the door for you.
And definitely.
And you know, that's the thing too. Sometimes it's like that, right? So push it through. Okay, Raph said, now you do that. I'm gonna let you walk through it behind me, but it's cool though. Open it with open arms, man. You in there now, but look what you're doing. And like I said, that's definitely dope, because I was like, it could have been the opposite way around. Yeah. But we need more of this than the other way. You feel me?
And I think that's what is needed. And I think it's one of the reasons why I think you are doing this and why we do what we do is I got into this so that I can, one, show people what I can do, because this is my calling. And then
which is a blessing though, bro. If we find your calling and settle in, know what it is, it's peace. It's work, right? But it's rejoiceful, because ain't nobody giving us no big check. That stipend ain't good enough. No, but that job with the Lakers, that comeback from call or somebody make it, I can sleep. You know what I mean?
And I think it's because of my spiritual understanding that has kept me on the right path, because a lot of people expected us to be like angry with each other.
I believe it.
After that situation.
I believe it, bro.
And, it was absolutely the opposite, because the thing is that, one, I felt that if that was going to happen, it was supposed to happen. And there's something else for me, and it was supposed to be opened up for him.
For him.
You know what I'm saying? That's dope. So if I see it that way, how am I supposed to be upset about that situation? That's dope. So now me and a friend of mine are head coaches. And so I'm happy where I am right now. I'm learning from another legendary coach, Coach Swafford, building up a program from the ground up, doing something that a lot of people don't have the opportunity to do.
Right. That's definitely dope. Rob, what about you? What was because you've been in it for a minute at a head coach level, had to relocate though. What was some of the most frustrating things that you ever probably experienced during that whole interview process with anybody?
Actually, I was blessed, man. The interview process was it was actually pretty smooth. When I left SAC, there was no Monterey Trail at the time.
Right.
I left in 01, and Monterey Trail was built in 04. So when I left, I didn't know nothing about it. And when I knew I was coming back to SAC, big ups to my big brother. He was pointing me in the direction of school.
He was already tapped in.
He was already he was doing a lot of youth stuff in the area, so he already knew. He was like, they get some talent there. They haven't really won, but they get some guys there. So I came in, fully unaware of anything going on.
Right.
So the folks that were in the interview, you know, I don't know if I caught them off guard or they were happy or whatever, but, you know, I just came prepared, man. You know, I was like, hey.
Oh, no, they was loving it because I had to hear about it. It was like, oh, this guy, but you guys are both. I'm like, well, we're kind of almost the same person.
Yeah.
They was like, you guys are both there. I'm like, well, I can't tell him like I knew. I'm like, but it's my dog. Yeah. Like, man, I've known this dude all my life pretty much. I'm like, but he's on it. And they was like, he was good. I'm like, okay, damn.
Yeah. And I'm fortunate, man, because I coached, you know, he was talking about Legion with a state title team. I was coaching with Jason Bryan at the time at San Diego Lincoln High School, and they had just came off a state title in 2010, and I was there under his wing. You know, I was freshman and JV coach with him, but I was at the gym from 3 to 7 o'clock at night. Like,
them hours.
I got to learn this. I'm learning everything. Y'all just won state. Like, I'm trying to soak all this up. And so when I came up here for the interview, you know, I was able to leverage a lot of that knowledge, that information. Was able to secure the position, and you know, it's been lovely ever since. You know, you got your ups and downs, you know, dealing with parents, with the district, whatever the case may be. But, you know, we're fortunate to be able to do this and hopefully impact kids, you know, for the long run.
My question, Rob, is how do you feel about being the second coach at Monterey Trails?
You know, I ain't really thought too much about it, man. You know, you can kind of build your program that way, right? And that's been my big thing. One thing I learned coming into it, I came in hot. You know, Coach Raph was saying, you know, he was on fire. I came in hot. I'm coming in the sack. I'm trying to take everything over. We down the street from the school that be winning all the time. You know, so I came in, you know, kind of chest out like, oh, I could do this. And then I got my lunch handed to me right away. Like, okay, wait a minute, maybe we ain't all that we think we are. You know, I got some work to do. But it's allowed me to try to, you know, just build the program now. And, you know, when we had, you know, some 4-year guys finally circled through, and, you know, I see success. You know, we have guys like Andre Crump that play with us, man, and you know, great family. So we're building it with great family participation. You know, last 2 years have been a little bit rough with COVID. I'm sure it is for everybody. Yeah. But we're building it with a great community, great family. You know, me and the AD are tight. You know, it's cool. You know, the only thing, you know, the man before me, Coach Manfredi, who's a great dude, super organized, he had his own office, right? And so when they brought me in on the interview, they showed me this office. I'm like, oh, we big time. I'm about to be up in this office. Man, it wasn't about 2 weeks after I got up in there, I was like, yeah, we moving this now. It ain't really. So he had the keys because he was really there. Yeah, he was there. He knew what to do, who to rock, who to talk to. Yeah, but it's a little bit harder for me because I'm off campus. So you know, I got to make sure I got coaches on staff that know all the teachers and things like that to make it easier for me. But it's been nothing but a blessing, man.
Terrell, I was the opposite though. I was at CO. I was a second. I was coming from CRC. We just went playoffs. John's first year at CRC. We had Leandre Lentz over there. We had Kari Hutt. I was like, well, I'm a junior college. I've been in for a minute. You know, that year at CO, no lie, man. For right now, that's probably one of the best high school teams I've coached that first year. Greg Milton, Terrell, Nohia Roberts, Khalif Halassi just played in a bowl game for football for Western Kentucky. Like, I had it was crazy. I was like, these dudes athletes, but I still was playing a slow down game somewhat. It should have been 4 out, 1 in with those guards. I should have started 4 guards and let them run. And Greg Milton, tough. I mean, like, I was like, but he got hurt. So then we had to play, you know, we still won a couple games, we missed it. And then the next year we go to the Delta League. I'm like, we should have been in Delta League years ago. But I'm like, now we're in Delta League. And this first year I was like, L's. We didn't win nothing that year. And Delta won some preseason games. Preseason we was probably 9-3, 9-4. Delta League that first year. Nada. And didn't make it out. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to get one. By year 3, I was like, by year 3, I'm in the offs. I'm going to, didn't make it. And real talk, I was like, I'm done with coaching. For the first time in my life, I was like, I'm done with it. Because I thought I worked so hard, put in so much work, sacrifice, the hours we put in, right? All levels, though, from me doing junior college, being the first one in the gym, last one, or CRC, Sac City. All right, coach, you can leave, lock up, I got it, working out. To the opportunity, like, now it's gone. And for a minute, I was like, okay, I'm just going to chill. I was like, I'm just, you know, I don't know what to do, right? You know what I mean? For a minute, now we're talking mental health so much, right, in the world today. I was like, I don't even know what it's for me no more with this hoop thing. I'd rather just, you know, chill. But again, talking to certain people, shout out to like Coach Kidd, Coach Jones. My homie was like, nah, you got to stay in it. Just build a resume. And so Jones was like, you can always come back home. You can always come back home. And I was like, all right, bet. That year we go, shoot, we haven't won. They won 20 games since I was probably there 12 years ago. We went 21-10 or 21-9, 20-10. Second round playoffs. I was like, but that junior college atmosphere, dog eat dog still. And I was like, first day of practice, if you don't like, get the hell out, get the F out. I was like, and no parents can't say nothing. It's college. I was like, okay, I missed that vibe for a little bit because like these dudes trying to eat. You trying to make it out or you finna just get left behind. Junior college, we know like it's a grind. So I was like, it was a good revival for me to get back into it, but also he entrusted me with a lot, man. I mean, that's like my father figured 2.0, 1.0, whatever you want to call it, man, but just off the court too. But he was like, Jay, you know I got you. But I was like, cool. But I really went in with my head in there too. Like I'm finna really put my foot down and let these kids know, let him know like I appreciate it. Because at a point I was like, man, I might just take a leave. And I was like, but really, I don't know where I've been without hoop. But it was the best thing for me, man. Have you guys faced any adversity to where you thought about stepping away from the game?
Definitely, for sure. I actually told him, man. Raph talked about this before too. I faced adversity, and just being honest, it's really the new generation. Be honest with you, like I love these kids for real. That's the only reason why I coach, to give back, seriously. But like you just was talking about, it's not even the control factor. It's kind of like it's no control at all sometimes. It's kind of like you're in a situation, if you don't have that parent support in them situations, it's kind of like you babying kids to make them play basketball. It's like I don't do it for that because it ain't even about basketball with me, to be honest with you. Like, so it gets to a point where it's like I don't want to just come to the gym and basically force y'all to want it. You know, for a whole season. You know, I could deal with the growing pains. We could suck every day and be wanting to get better and grind it. I can't deal with I'm here because like it get to a point where they feel like I need them.
They're entitled. A little bit.
Yeah, exactly. I can't. That part is like, yeah, I got kids, I got a family. I don't got to be here, dog. Seriously. So it get to a point where I thought about it because I'm not the person who's trying to just go anywhere to coach. Like I don't want to just like, oh yeah, I just want to be at Florin open up. I'm coaching at Florin. You're
purposeful in your
for sure.
Exactly. Like I really know where I'm supposed to be at. Like I know where God want me to be. So I know He want me to be around these group of kids I'm around. It's really set up like that. When I moved out here from the Bay Area, first school I went to was Jackman. So me coaching at Jackman.
Intentional.
Exactly. Like all this stuff was set up. I already know. So
Highline.
Whoa.
It's all good. They checking in. They got something to say. It's all good.
But nah, it's and that's just. I thought about stepping away from the game because of that, though, because that moment, like, I want to give back to y'all, but I don't want to be here just like, I'm coaching for 5 years go by, and that's all I do was blow a whistle. And force kids to play. Like, I'm not doing that. I can't do that. It got to be, it got to mean something. It got to be something behind it. I'm not just.
That means a whole lot, man, because I don't know if the parents, some see it and believe it, but your heart is in it.
Yeah.
Your blood, sweat, and tears, but your hours away from your families, whatever, from your other job, things you're doing, other things, hanging out with homies, whatever it is, but just making you more comfortable. But to get back to their kids, practice how many hours a day, how many months a year, for how long they're there, right? You don't you don't get summers off from it like that nowadays, right? There's no time away, right? You guys we're always going spring, summer, winter, fall. Raph, what about you, man? Any time little adversity in it?
Oh, there's always been adversity. I really love coaching. Sometimes I've doubted like the positions or spots that I was at the time, but I mean, your guys' stories was a lot. It was funny because it was almost the exact opposite for me, because when I came in there was no expectations and no help, because I mean people, at that time when I first got the position over at Valley, they hadn't had a winning season in 7 years. And so, it was almost kind of like Castaway, and a lot of the kids had that kind of mentality, so I mean, people know, over there, I had a rule where you couldn't wear something from another high school.
Oh yeah.
I rock with that.
Bro,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That
some kid came with some Valley shorts at Kennedy. I said, wait a minute, I think Kari might have had some Mikey shorts on. That's my homie. I said, I like Mikey too, but you will not wear these Valley shorts in this green and gold gym.
Right, Brad.
Turn it inside out. Get up out of here.
Cats coming in, at Valley, wearing some Burbank jackets and stuff like that.
They always wear sack high stuff.
So I'm like, listen, first of all, we done with that.
Yeah.
First offense was 50 push-ups.
Ooh.
Second offense was
Get
100.
'em.
Third offense was 200.
Get them.
And
You
so
gonna get stronger. You gonna get something out of this.
you know what I'm saying? So, that was the beginning. And guys, guys not knowing how to train, that was an adversity, but to me, that was a challenge. And so the funny part about it was, my first year at Valley, we won 7 games. We went 7-20, and with the same group of guys, the very next year we had a winning season. Because it wasn't necessarily about the wins. It was we were preaching the development,
The off-season development,
and getting stronger, getting better, improving, and they bought in. Those guys really bought in, and it was funny because it was a complete opposite view of the team the very next year. Everybody, oh, y'all should make playoffs. Now everybody want to give me their 2 cents. Oh, people trying to coach from the sideline.
You know how that goes.
Even parents, like there was some kids that was on the team. I never seen a parent until the second year.
Till you start winning.
I had a kid who won all league, never saw his dad, and then all of a sudden he came up and introduced himself. I'm like, who are you? And so for me, the adversity is rarely ever been the kids. Sometimes for me is sometimes the adults, because their agendas are different. When I see kids who are doing it for the wrong reasons, I see who is their teacher. Where did they get that?
They learn that
information
behavior or something from somebody.
You know what I'm saying? And so for me, that was always the hard part in terms of the adversity, was people now saw something beneficial out of it and wanted to put their 2 cents into it.
Because it got buzzing. Like you said, you had old boy come through there. What's the real tall young fella? Was he with you or with you?
LD?
Before LD too. A little before. Real tall, lanky kid, man. I'm not sure. Before LD, he was
Wesley?
Yeah, Wesley.
Yeah, that was before me.
Oh,
that was my guy, though.
But it's just like you can see
that was somebody I used to train too. And that's my guy. Still to this day, still keep up. He has Sonoma.
Yeah. So like I said, and it's gyms out here.
Yeah.
It's gyms, but it's the sacrifice behind the scenes or the buy-in.
Yes.
And so even for you coming off of being the second, right?
Yeah.
How quick did you get buy-in, or how long did it take? Because I know that's probably the hardest thing to get these kids to be like, I trust you, coach, or okay, I'm gonna do what you say after the 10th time.
It was the buy-in was crazy, right? Because they were so structured and disciplined prior to me, and I want to bring my own, flavor of discipline. But I remember the very first meeting with the kids, and they was like, "Coach, can we wear headbands?" And I'm like, I don't care. It's a headband.
They never had none though. They couldn't wear none.
Yeah, they never.
He wasn't letting it go.
Yeah, they never.
That's the little kid.
Not having
Ask this parent.
Not happening.
Nah, he never had no
Freddie,
headband.
Freddie ain't having
Never had a headband.
So in my first meeting, and they're asking me questions like this. I'm all like,
Got him.
A
He said,
headband? Yeah, of course. Oh, coach, we'll run through a wall for you. Off a headband?
Got it.
So it's that the buy-in was good on that aspect. But about any type of adversity, this COVID and the year before that, dealing with mental health and going through your own personal things, and then you go to the gym where it's normally a safe haven, right?
It's different in there.
It's your peace, and now you got to pull, like you were saying, you got to pull teeth to get kids to want to work out, or you showing up, okay, it's a workout, we got 4 guys in here, and I'm like, come on, man, this ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah.
So at that point you're like, man, is my approach right?
Yeah.
What do I got to do different? How do I keep these kids engaged? So then you start thinking about that aspect of it, is how can you continue to reach these kids in this new age, And I commend both y'all, man, because, I see y'all on the social media tip, getting your kids going. I think you posted last year, your kids was at practice and you was taking photos of them and videos at practice, and it's like,
we had to.
Yeah, that's how you got to reach them.
Oh no, I get it, but I'm like, Terrell, man, stop doing too much a little bit, because now I got to pull my phone out. They up there dunking, everybody hype. I'm like, now I got to make gym videos, hype it up, but that's the time we're in, the culture we're in, right? But I'm like, but the gym, I'm like, it do look kind of live in there. I'm like, all the kids.
Because going on the days of just come get better.
Just
come get better.
Gone.
You got to have music in the gym popping, somebody recording, so they can be like, oh, now I'm really coming.
I was getting 2 kids, DeMarco and AJ, for like a month straight. When we start videoing ourselves working out or
Your gym
whatever,
was packed.
all of a sudden we got 20, 30 people at Jackman working outside with us.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. But I always think about this though. Honestly, I remember when I first came on Raph, because before that I didn't really used to work in the summer. I was doing middle school and stuff. I did Natomas too. So we did summers, but it was like not like that consistent. But Raph, his first year, he was so motivated. He used to be there with one kid there. I was like, bro, we doing this next week? Really,
one kid.
Yeah, that gets discouraging,
Exactly.
man. That gets discouraging.
Bro, we really
With
got to
one
come
kid.
back next week. Really, 2 kids show up. All right, it's
Yeah.
getting better. 2 kids for 2 weeks, bro. You can do this by
that's
yourself.
Yeah.
But like that was motivation. So I ain't gonna lie to you, it always stuck with me. Like, cause that same kid, them same 2 kids who came, one played on JV with me, one played on varsity with him. Both of them killed that year.
Yeah.
Them
Yep.
2 kids.
That worked, man.
Yeah.
That worked.
And the point of that was just to send the message to the rest of them. Like, those were, because one, you got to know what you're doing first. And so I knew that, hey, if you get 1 kid or 2
Better.
that are going to come consistently, I will get you better.
The other kids
Yep.
gonna be
And
like,
they're going to see them.
What you been doing?
Yeah.
And they're like, who's that?
I
How
go,
did-
I
you
don't
was
miss,
not that good.
I don't cat off. I
Yeah.
go with coach when he asks me to go, man.
Right.
Like,
And
definitely.
so that's how you build your culture.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be unflinching. You know, you have to have your system,
Yeah.
and you just run it and just let them eventually come
Yeah.
into it. You
Yes,
know,
what's up.
and
Yeah, yeah.
so that's how you build your staple as a coach. You know
Yeah,
what I
man,
mean?
it's definitely important, man. I definitely take a quick second to shout out Smart Athletic Kids, man, the sponsor of the shows. Also today, I really try to rep everybody's brand, man, but I had these Coach Tab and Coach Janae on here, man. Legend Athletics, man. You know what I'm saying? You can write on your little thing, so I put love yours, 94 feet with Coach JT. It's just look them up, man. Legend Athletics, man. Coach Janae and Coach Tab's out there, man, doing their thing in the gym too, man. They got sports recovery out there. They were on the show. They got a story to tell. Just tap in with everybody locally in Sacramento, but worldwide, man. All the sponsors. I can't even name them all, but I'll tag most of them on all the posts, man. Like I said, Smart Athletic Kids, just different clothing brands that have rocked with me or supported me, sent me shirts, vice versa. Man, I really appreciate you guys, but also just the city and everybody from here to down south, folks, Mississippi, East Coast, man, everywhere they watching the show, the YouTube, downloading. I really appreciate you. Again, shout out to DJ Eddie though and 360 Studio, man. Like I said, last week come in, it's changes. Coming this week again, it's still upgrades. We in the Beats by Dre headphones across the board. Studios popping, man. We still getting it rocking, man. So I definitely appreciate it. 2021, it's coming to an end, but our seasons are underway. Underway. Like some have played games, some have not. Some grade scheduled, some more stuff. Raph, you got a game tomorrow night.
Okay.
Then you got to come see us Tuesday night. Terrell, what you guys got going this week?
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
We got 5 games in 6 days.
5. What about you, Coach?
We go Tuesday, and then we host a tournament.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Man, so it's go time. I'm praying that we get these games in across the board. Safety for everybody, all, but for the kids as well, but for us too. I think we need them as outlets after this work we put in. I said, last year all them COVID tests trying to get 5 games in. I might have took about, I don't know, each week 4 to 5 COVID tests for our district, my school alone, just to be able to practice. Sometimes we didn't even practice. We stopped practicing last year because I said that way we avoid contact tracing from other teams. We just won't practice. We'll shoot around outside and we won't practice as a group. We just play games. But this year's been a little different. But what are some things that you guys are looking forward to or trying to just establish, because it's not going to be smooth. It's not a full regular season anymore. Those days for right now are still over with.
Yeah.
We're still got to make on a fight. But what are some things you guys are trying to bring to the table and improve on for your program, for your players?
For me, I'm big on, like I said, the family and the journey of it, and being different this year. We're not traveling this far this year.
Right. Coach Fields usually takes some trips. I was like, I need the San Diego hookup because I want to go to San Diego one weekend. And
so
what I mean?
We do San Diego, we do Reno. We try to travel and try to build, and really I try to do that. So like I said, I'm always trying to prepare this kids, for that next level, and you build that teamwork. So they're used to it. So this year for me, it's different, and we're trying to figure out, how do we build that along the journey? Right. How do we get the all in from all 15, 16 guys, at least on the varsity level? So we're looking forward to that, man. We're if you got some ideas, hit me in the DMs, man. Let me know. We're always trying to build up. How we can just let these boys bond, a little bit more off the court now, while still having the COVID protocol, social distance, different things like that. So But I'm looking forward to it. You know, we got some good kids in our program, and you know, once everything gels right, you know, I think we'll be real tough.
That's what's up. Raph, what about you?
Yeah, you know, for us, this is our first year we can actually go to playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, as a new school, you know, we had to go through a probation period, and last year would have actually been our first year to be able to go to playoffs, and we were excited. You know, we would have did a nice run in playoffs, and so our guys are really hungry for that opportunity. And so, you know, because the year before that we went 24-5, and you know, and we played in our league, but again, because we were in probationary, we couldn't be considered the league champions.
Right.
But we beat every team.
Right.
And so, you know, being able to now do that, and it's gonna count, and it's gonna be for
finish
real,
something in goal.
you know, and so I that's what I really want for these guys, because we got 3 seniors, you know, a couple juniors, and you know, they have stuck with not just a growing program, a growing school.
Oh yeah. So the blessing for me is that some of those guys have been my first group of kids I taught as a junior college professor.
Yeah.
4 years ago, they were my freshman in my freshman orientation class with CRC. So I'm like, I get to see you guys grow up on the court, but also you guys are already they're going to graduate high school with the junior college AA degree.
Yeah, for people who don't know, you know, our school is an early college high school, so our kids take high school classes, and then they do dual enrollment at Consumnes River College and take college courses.
Dope.
And so, you know, we had our first graduating class last year. It was only 18 students.
Yeah.
But of the 18, 4 of them had got their full associate's degree. Another 6 had at least a year or more of college done.
Right.
And you know, and then the rest of them at least had 2 classes done.
Right.
Every kid who graduated had some college
You're still
credit.
at least ahead of the game.
Yeah. And so, you know, now with some of these guys, you know, who are playing a sport while taking high school
and
college credits, you know, it's
real grind.
It's a real grind. And so, you know, our school building just opened up this year. So, you know, we had families who committed to a program, a school, because they believed in the vision before it was even built.
Yeah.
And so I just want to see those kids get rewarded, you know, for all that work they put in, because, you know, especially nowadays, everybody wants to see it first before they get on board. And so these group of guys said, no, I want to be the trailblazer.
Yeah.
So I that's my excitement, that they get the opportunity to really get to put that on display and get rewarded for that.
That's what's up. T?
Yeah. Our team is interesting. We got like a half glass type of team. It's like you see us, you be like, okay, they could be nice. And then but in basketball, you see it, you like, if you look at our team, none of them play varsity basketball but one kid. Then you look at it in deeper effect, you got a lot of young kids who you got 10th graders on our team. So you think about it, they ain't played since they was in 8th grade. So when you get deep about it, you like, oh, okay. So our real goal is to start development jail. We got transfers that came in from different places that haven't played with this person. But honestly, when we actually gel, I do think we're going to be very good. It's a lot of stuff we could do with our team. It's a lot of different ways, but all them kids transferred in on the day of school, so we don't have no summer work with them, none of that. So we just basically, like, you know, you dealing with what you got to deal with at this point. But I think in the long term, we use this season just to get better, game by game. We'll be all right.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I know we got Coach Raph coming Tuesday. I was thinking to myself, I said, man, tell Swaff to leave that suit at home, because
that's not gonna happen.
I know, so I already got mine in the cleaners. Nah, buddy, not this time. But I know he'll come clean. I was like, man, Swaff, man, I ain't dressed up for a game in a year anyway. So I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna have to pull something out, because I know Swaff coming in. I'm like, man, I saw the other day he on a tournament somewhere. I'm like, he already dressed up. Like, you ain't wearing not a jacket or polo.
Ain't nothing
I said,
changed,
man, Swaff, you know what I'm saying, and that's mad respect. So usually not usually every show we get out of here, before we get out of here, man, I always ask my guests, though, as we all know, as hoopers, whatever, triple threat, dribble, pass, shoot. But now, for each of you guys, though, I want you guys to give those listening, your players, parents, whatever else, just whatever, myself, your triple threat, just in life in general. 3 things that you hang your hat on. It could be with the sports, but it can be because, you know, we're mentors, we're father figures, we're, like you said, providers. I got to buy meals, I got to take people home, vice versa. We also got to take care of your families, and then try to provide financially as well. But just 3 things you hang your hat on in general as we go through. Because I mean, for me, for you guys though, I'm always rooting for y'all no matter what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always gonna have y'all back. I'm always gonna push y'all. We all gonna support each other. We're also gonna keep it real because, like I said, I know that we are that. I said we're not the young bucks no more, but we're not the old heads either, right?
No.
We're at that middle age where we're like, okay, we can do a little bit of both.
Yeah.
We can seek knowledge from the OGs, as we call them, but we also can give to these youngsters that, because it's some young kids that probably want to coach because of what they see us doing.
Mm-hmm.
So you know what I mean. But just give me y'all triple threat, man, going forward. Anybody?
I say mine is in general in life, right?
Yeah, whatever you want it to be.
Definitely like just focusing on my purpose from God, man.
Mm.
Like honestly, I feel like I'm doing everything right if I'm doing my purpose, whatever
Yeah.
that is. At any time, like if God say, "Hey, it's time for you to wrap this coaching thing up," it's time.
Mm-hmm.
Like honestly, being a father and a mentor to the youth in general, or whatever aspect that may be, not just with hoop.
Mm-hmm.
Just in life, honestly, I be having kids come back to me still to this day, just popping in my gym, don't even just thinking we got practice. I'm like, we could have had a game today, but they just be wanting to talk
That's
about
good.
life, like they out of school. So just being there for them in the community. So I just hang my hat on that. I say, just being that guy. Like I'm accepting my role in life
That's
and all
dope.
different phases of life.
That's dope. Right?
I mean, there's 3 quotes that I usually tell, guys, and one is, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. So if you like the results that you're getting right now, then you just keep doing it.
Right.
If you don't like it, that means something got to change. The other one, in terms, especially when it comes to the hoop world, is championships are won in front of everybody, but champions are built when nobody's watching. So it's not about what you're doing when the cameras are on. It's about what you're doing when the cameras go off. When nobody's there, who's going to still be in the gym, who's going to be in the weight room.
Facts.
And then my third one is just the spiritual side of it, is how do you pray? Do you pray for a blessing, or do you pray to be a blessing? And so, I do this because I really get joy out of helping that next one. You know what I'm saying? And so, because somebody did that for me. Somebody poured into me, somebody invested into me. And so, and then they told me, okay, now that I've helped you, you got to go do that. And so, so the next thing is, what I tell is like, listen, I got guys who play for me who now talk to some of the guys who play for me right now.
Nice.
And so, that's the next thing, is just how am I going to be a blessing to somebody else?
For me, I'm always telling our guys, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. So we want them to make a decision, stick with it, power through, whether the adversity is there, whether it comes, goes, whatever the case may be, you keep pushing, you keep fighting. And then it's all through hard work, right? We've been through we see the work that it takes. We have high expectations for our kids. So we tell them, hard work, high expectations. And to reach these high levels of expectations, whether it's winning league or whether it's getting this a A in a class or bringing the D to a B, it all takes work. It all takes work. It all takes effort, and you got to be able to tell yourself that you can do it. So, maybe I got to get off the phone at 8:30 and pick up the English book.
Right.
I ain't got no homework. Well, so you might be able to study that last chapter that you just didn't do so good on. So, we just try and tell them, look, man, whatever you do, attack it with the purpose, attack it with the passion, and the hard work that you put in will help reach your high expectations. And we just constantly try to pour into them in that aspect. And the guys are taking it well. We've had some success with it, and the success that we measure of success may not always be a win and a loss, but did you give it your all? At the end of the day, did you study your hardest for that test? And whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. So if you gave that maximum effort, or if you didn't give that maximum effort, and the results are based off of that effort.
That's what's up, man. So definitely, so like I said, we all gonna be following each other. I mean, Rob, me and you in the league this year. We finally get this game, man.
I'm at your neck. I'm supporting you every game of the year except for 2. You already know that every game of the year except for 2.
So I get to see two, 3 of the homies out of two out of the homies out of the 3 right here. Terrell, I know we'll get a game. We try to get one in, high schedule, but for me again, it's mad love though, because I mean I know what it takes, but I also know what y'all give up. I really know what y'all give. So from firsthand, like y'all sacrifice a lot, we sacrifice a lot, and to see. But also, I think I would want the world and the community to see though, man. Like faith, blessing others. It ain't the financials. It's the reason why we do what we do. And like I said, I'm like, dang, you know what? I might be. Rob, you what? 38,
38, man.
38.
Yeah.
Raph, how old are you?
32.
Oh, 31.
I'm the old man up here.
No, I'm the old man. I'm 39.
Yeah, you just turned 39.
Oh man. So, but for me, it's a dope feeling, bro, for real, because I had coaches I looked up to, but never kind of on my same age like that. A couple of them, yeah. But now I'm like, dog, I feel we all on that level. And I'm like, you know what? It's a good way to like I said, that wave, man. Resources. Let us be like to other people. Give our story, give our honest truth, because we've all had ups and downs. But also, man, if I can make it easier for somebody else, I want to make it easier for you, because it ain't an easy path.
No, let me touch
Go
on
ahead.
that real quick
Yeah,
before, because coming in, like I said, when I moved back to SAC, you know, we're all competitors. We all want to win games. So when the ball get tipped up, I'm locked in. You know, I don't care who over there.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think, you know, that might rub some other coaches the wrong way. Like, oh, wait a minute, he going extra hard. He doing this, he doing that. But hey, once that 0-0's on the clock, man. Hey, what was your scouting report on us? How can I get better? This is what I thought of you guys. You know, I want to share that stuff so we can, you know, grow the game, grow coaches. And I did that 2 years ago, and I'll get back to it this year where, hey, man, after the game is over, let me know what you thought of my team. You know, so that way we can get better. I want you guys to get better. But when it's go time, it's go time.
But I think that's something that should be in the air. Like not behind the scenes, like we're saying it now, which is good. Like, hey, we all want to win or get better product, but also it's like I don't have to envy you. I don't have to go behind your back for what? Because again, there's a shortage of us in the game, regardless, right? Or they put us in situations where sometimes it may not be successful or the only job available. But for us, we like that's opportunity one. But we're gonna try to get it done. But also, if I know like, okay, Terrell, that Valley, I'm over here. I got a kid. T, you got a kid over there, dog. He finna leave my school. But this is what you do. Talk to his parents. This is what you do that. Talk to him this way, or see if he needs support. That way, you can still win. I might like to have him, but as we know these days, they can move around, drop of a dime. So ain't no use. I mean, we talk that gangs about all that. Y'all know we all have y'all have
another episode.
Part 2. That's 2000. After league we talk about it again. But it happens, right? It's gonna happen. But I just want us to, not us, just all the coaches out here though. Ego to the side. All the coaches.
Well, everybody knows I give everybody that text message.
No,
everybody's getting that text message. I want to see everybody.
Raph, but you've been. I mean, because I know you too. You've always been that way. If somebody says something bad about you, man, they gonna have to holler at me. But you've always been that way. And the thing is, though, we all can talk and code switch. We can have conversations with the right people the right way, or we can be in the gym with our boys and get into them like it's nothing. But the way they can relate, right? But I think that's one jewel we all possess, right? But like I said, man, ending the show, man, like I really appreciate y'all boys. Again, drop of a dime, one group message, everybody said, yeah, I'm there. I'm like, to me that means something. I tell everybody, I value relationships, bro. I value relationships with people because you never know when to cross that bridge, or if I can help you out or you help me, I never know. So I always want to be that. But I appreciate y'all, man, and everybody listening. Again, check Valley out, check Fortune out, check Monterey Trails out. I'm at Kenny, but again, if you want to support, tap in with any of the coaches. If you got resources, we all need resources. It don't matter what it is. If it is not financial, it can be items of whatever. It doesn't matter. Tap in with the coaches because, again, schools only give us so much.
Facts.
And especially the schools that are in different areas who don't have access to stuff. We got to hustle our own money. We got to fundraise our own money or spend our own bread. And you know what I mean? So anything helps, but it's about the kids. And I was taught, my coach Jones said, man, I don't care about the basketball. You finna get this, come back with your degree, then you get your jersey. I was like, so, and I can attest to that. All my guys that I went to school and played with, they went and got the degrees, they got their jersey back. He was like, I'm holding this thing. I was like, he for real. He didn't care about, we won a game, but he was like, nah, go get this degree and then come holler at me. And I was like, okay, that's one thing. So y'all get through high school, just go to college and you can still be in the field if you want to be in. You can make money, you can do different things. It may not be basketball. So from me to y'all, Happy holidays. Get good luck going forward. You know, I'm rooting for you, Rob. My day's on the calendar circle.
Yeah,
Raph, I'm gonna see you in 2 days, man. So I'm about to
Yeah,
go
man,
I'm about to go press my suit real quick one more time. I don't know if no suit don't be too hot in there, but I gotta get something for Swaff, man, because I know he gonna be fresh. But I
I'm gonna have the
appreciate
bow
y'all,
tie
boys.
ready. Trust me.
All right, see, now y'all gonna make me step it up. All right, so y'all tune in. I don't know if the game gonna be streamed Tuesday night, man. It's 5:30. Kennedy versus Fortune. Best dressed coach win. I don't care about the score of the game. Coach Terrell, Coach Raph, Coach Fields, man, Coach JT. 94 feet with Coach JT. We out.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
All right.